Yeah. Hello.
Hi, LeakyCon.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks for coming to check out some crazy fanfic with us.
All right, just take a notice of our little disclaimer up here before we get started.
See, you have this written there, and it says T for teen, but I would say it's M because it's gonna have the F word in
Oh,
it.
man.
Just because I literally cannot stop myself.
So here we are, the two of us. My name is Sequoia Simone.
And I'm Kim.
And we host a podcast called Fanatical Fics and Where to Find Them.
It's a podcast about how much we love Harry Potter fanfiction.
We love Harry Potter fanfiction so much. Raise your hand if you love Harry Potter fanfiction.
Nice.
You're in the right place. Welcome. On this podcast, we do read some insane Harry Potter fan fiction.
I mean, that's what we're looking for. We want to capture... So we actually specifically focus on stuff that came out before Book 7 because we want to capture an era.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're all nodding. They know.
Yeah. That's when the good stuff happened, right?
Absolutely. Hey, You want to know a fun thing that I did?
What?
I forgot to turn my camera on.
Nice.
So you're going to keep talking for a second.
Here we go. So our podcast comes from a love of fan fiction, and we both have roots in it. Sequoia, I'm going to just talk about you for a little while. Sequoia wrote a lot of fan fiction when she was younger, and we first got the idea for the podcast about 1 million years ago when we lived together in college. One night we all got together in a blanket fort and read Sequoia's fan fiction to each other, and I made fun of it mercilessly because, wow, what was that? Yeah, that was Secret Hermione is what it was. She didn't even know.
I didn't
Her eyes
even
had
know.
to be opened.
I had to be told what I'd done. We do call ourselves fanfiction, heavy quotes, experts because we are constantly learning new things about fan fiction.
Oh, that's true. But we have read quite a bit. We've done the podcast for over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. So we have read more fan fiction
than I ever thought I would.
Sometimes I forget what happened in the Harry Potter books. Like,
really, what happened in the books?
have I ever read the Harry Potter books? I don't know. So that's just a little bit about us. We are fandom enthusiasts. We're super happy to be here. This is my third LeakyCon.
Yeah, actually, we should probably say this right now. We've actually canceled the podcast and now we're nothing but a Snitch Witch fan account.
Snitch Witch stan accounts.
I guess this is kind
all
of our
across
last
the board.
hurrah.
All right, so what is Crackfic? Raise your hand if you think you know what Crackfic is. Oh, wow.
Okay.
That is significantly less than I thought.
Yeah.
And also some half-raised hands, like you're like, I think maybe I know what it is, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it's like you know it when you see it.
We're gonna try and nail down that feeling right now.
What
and
exactly?
Figure out the definition.
So we went on the internet and we thought, who's saying what it is right now? What are the existing definitions of Crackfic? So we've got this one that's from TV Tropes that says, Crackfic is any story whose premise and events would be completely implausible in canon.
That's not enough.
That's not enough, right?
Not enough.
Yes, good. You guys, man, you get up here and do that. The Wikipedia definition, a work of fan fiction that is absurd, surprising, or ridiculous, often intentionally.
We're getting closer.
We're getting closer, right? Yeah, just like a little bit there. Urban Dictionary definition. The type of fiction where it is believed that the author must be on crack. And here's the thing. I mean, as far as we can tell from our in-depth research,
that's where the name comes from.
That's where the name comes from. Because
crack.
Pixie Sticks is exactly where that comes from. It is bizarre and off the wall. We're getting there, but not quite yet. So we thought, let's define it ourselves, shall we? Crackfic has 3 main components, and we touched on them in some of these original definitions that we found on the internet. 1, Crackfic takes elements of a story multiple steps beyond anything that could be feasible in canon, right?
Yeah, so some people might think that Harry/Draco is kind of ridiculous. But what if you throw in Harry's long-lost twin, who's also into... What was it in this story? Was it the twin was into Harry?
Yeah, the twin. It was Harry slash Harry's twin.
Yes. It was so good.
Now that's Crackfic.
This is important. The full list of our citations is going to be available on our website.
It's currently available on our
It's available on our website.
You can read every Crackfic that we referenced today, and we think that's important.
Everybody look at them. They're amazing and I love them.
And you can start off with Harry Has Boobs by Drunk Like a Fox.
I love you.
Fanaticalfix.com, it's on our blog. You will be able to find this full list. So not only does it take this element crazy steps beyond feasible, it is written as if the author is possessed by the idea and must get it out at all costs.
This fan fiction that we've got referenced here it holds such a close place in my heart. This thing is beautiful. The author wrote, how many chapters does it say?
It has 191 chapters.
About Harry Potter and his quest to spread communism through the wizarding world. Amazing, beautiful, what?
There's lots of author's notes in this one too, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're really upset about the flames they get because those are obviously from the bourgeoisie.
Exactly. Now, not only that, but if you see down here, we've also highlighted the update date and the publish date. Look how long it took them.
That's 4 years.
That's
4 years of Harry Potter becomes communist.
That's an idea that has possessed you, and you must see it through until the very end.
Or else.
Or else. So not only that, but 3, it is often intended to be Crackfic, which was slightly touched on by Wikipedia.
Yeah. It'll generally say in the summary, Crackfic. Or on AO3, it'll get that sweet tag.
That sweet Crackfic tag. Or it'll say, I ate 12 pixie sticks before I wrote this. So I gotta, oh, here she goes. Yeah, just get it down quick.
I do really powdery.
I read a Crackfic once called What Things That Happen in the Broom Shed, and it is entirely from the perspective of the broom shed. What does the broom shed think about this scenario? Does the broom shed ship that couple?
That's making out in the broom
In
shed?
the broom shed? Who knows? I know because I read this Crackfic.
Did it?
What was the couple? There were multiple couples. Harry / Cho was the actual main couple, and I was like, meh, and the broom shed was like, hell yeah. So those are our 3 things that we see in crack fiction that we help to identify crack fiction when we see it. Ooh. What is not necessarily true? Not all humor is crackfic.
Yeah.
Crossover.
Some things are just funny.
Alternate universe, those things can be absolutely not crackfic. It has to
really good too. There
absolutely
are some amazing AUs out there that are just like, this is the greatest idea. You've thought about it so well, and I love you, and please give me more.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do a lot of recommending those fics on our podcast as well. Not all out of character is going to be crackfic too. The thing you really highlight here is that it has to go so many steps beyond and be, written in a state of mania.
Pixie stick, fuel mania.
Pixie stick, fuel mania. Why do authors write crackfic?
There are so many reasons why a person might sit down in front of their computer and then barf out some whatever. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We've done a quick survey of crackfic summaries.
I wouldn't call it quick. This is 2 years.
Valid. We've done a very in-depth research on this, and we've come up with a couple things. 1, it is past the author's bedtime. In our example here, don't even read this. It's horrid. That's what happens when you're high on pixie sticks at midnight. Lots of death. I like that part of the summary. Exclamation point. Lots of death.
This story, we've got cited here, so this is the summary for this story. Do you want to tell us about the story, Sequoia?
I would love to tell you about this story. It is 24 words long, including the oh man, I almost just memorized it because a guy could literally memorize it, but I'll just break it down for you. Hogwarts explodes. It is hit by a nuclear bomb. Everyone dies. It was
So sad.
a single
Bye, Hogwarts.
bye. Exactly, yeah. I think the summary might be longer than the fic itself.
The summary is...
Number 2, the author has consumed an abnormal amount of sugar and or caffeine. In the case of this author, it was both caffeine. Why do you have to make eye contact with me when you eat pixie sticks?
You don't have to look at me.
I don't think that's necessary.
You don't have to look at me.
They have had 8 cans of Coke, 10 pixie sticks, and 2 ice cream bars in 45 minutes, and I really see that as an accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only like 1 snitch witch and 2 pixie sticks deep. I don't feel ready yet.
We are only full of anxiety and snitch witches right now, so
Working on the pixie sticks.
getting the pixie sticks in. You are going hard. I should probably try to catch up. Oh yeah, I put too many on the table. That was my own fault. All right, we've got 3. The author has a thought. And now they can't stop thinking about it.
They are possessed.
They are possessed by the idea. That is often called a plot bunny.
Yep.
And in this one, Dumbledore wants Alicia and Warrington to have a child together. Board of Crackfic plot bunny. Dumbledore in this story.
There was a prophecy.
There was a prophecy. There was a prophecy.
They're destined to have the next savior of the wizarding world right now.
Literally now.
And then, of course, the fic ends. Spoiler alert, Dumbledore messed up. It was supposed to be Harry and Draco the whole time.
Hey, Secret Harry! It's back!
Harry.
4, we've got the authors who are having a sleepover. Now they're taking turns writing sentences.
Oh my gosh, I love these so much.
Rated PG for disturbingness. There's a lot of great things that happen in the summaries of Crackfic, and one of them is the authors trying to give the rating and why they give the rating.
Love it.
Often they're like, it's T for teen because, man, if my mom read this, I think she'd be really mad. As you can see down in our citation, as we have correctly cited our sources here in this
How many
scholarly...
people were at this sleepover?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice.
That's a big sleepover.
What I liked about this story is that in the story, they were each one of the characters. They were
Yeah.
like, this person's Hermione.
It was kind of like a role play scenario that you may have done on Neopets.
I mean, I didn't do that in real life, though.
Right, you were so much cooler because you did it on Neopets. Yeah, if everybody was on Neopets, it's fine. 5th, the author is writing in response to a competition prompt.
Yes.
This happened quite a bit. The crappier the competition prompt, as a person who ran a lot of writing competitions in my youth.
Where did you run those? Can you tell everyone?
Okay, no, this is great because you're all here, you're all nodding like you understand fan fiction, which is great. Does anyone remember the Harry Potter forums, the Warner Brothers Harry Potter forums? Oh, I didn't imagine it. I found them. I wrote exclusively on there. I had to have my dad sign a permission form and send it via mail, not email, put it in an envelope with a stamp to Warner Brothers because I was 12. I wasn't 13 yet. 13 was the cutoff date.
Yeah.
But anyway, a lot.
When you're allowed online. In 2000, whatever.
I'm not going to give away my age. I'm old is basically what that comes down to. In this fic, what was the pairing that no one had ever thought of? Oh, is your mouth full of pixie stick? Oops.
Crumb/squid.
Crumb/squid.
So
In this fic, the squid has crumbs babies.
Yeah, that's
Also.
finding out.
It's fine. Don't try to think about how that anatomically works, because you'll just make yourself sad. Okay, so there are a lot of different types of crackfic too. We can see why the author might have wanted to write this story. We can also look at and examine the type of crack fiction that is.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll start out here with crack pairing.
Nice. These are all some very good pairings. Crab/Dumbledore. Turns out they both have a foot fetish.
That's fine.
This next one is kind of like gross. Yeah, wow, what? But I did read the whole thing. Haggard/Dobby. Nice.
Kim does a lot of this thing where she's like, hey, so I need to tell you about a fic I read because I'm so deeply disturbed into my soul that I need someone to be on this same level here with me. Which is very rude as the person on the receiving end of that most of the time.
All of you got it too.
My favorite is Salazar Slytherin/Cedric Diggory, because in this fanfic, Cedric Diggory, after he dies, goes to the afterworld, and the person who is sent to guide him through the afterlife is Salazar Slytherin, and their ghosts fall in love. And I think that's beautiful. All right.
Love me some no Cedric stories.
We've also got crack plot, and we also referred to it earlier as plot bunny. Harry wakes one night in incredible agony and finds himself changed. He is a Vila elf werepanther.
Also Snape's father.
Side note.
They forgot to include that part.
Is Snape a Vila, or an elf, or a werepanther?
Yeah, I think it's all of the above.
Excellent. You guys know how crackfic works. I see that. All right, we've also... Poor Harry. He really goes through the ringer in crackfic.
No, Ron gets it way worse.
Oh, Ron just dies.
Yeah.
In like every crackfic.
Oh no, Ron got squished. He's dead now.
Oh, bye, Ron. 3, we got 8. Speaking of Ron
Like
dying.
I read this book.
Yeah, it's almost like we wrote this presentation. Ron is murdered by Crookshanks, and Harry holds him as he dies. And then Harry lights Crookshanks on fire! You guys! Woo. I love this story a lot. It is also very short, and it is written very somberly. Like, they have a funeral at the end, and everyone is really sad, and the author is writing like this is the saddest thing that could ever happen, and then at the end they're like, and wasn't this so fun? I'm like, no, you wrote it very sad.
That's fine. Sometimes.
That's sometimes. I don't read a lot of angst crack.
No.
Not my favorite, but also bonkers. We've got competition crack, of course.
We touched on competitions before, but what is this prompt?
Panda, voluptuous, bubbles. Better to have loathed and loved than never to have loathed at all. This is some dreary that happens, but it's sad because Harry dies in the Great Garden Gnome Rebellion. This is also angst crack a little bit. But you know, after you defeat Voldemort, you think that you're probably fine, right? You're just gonna go throughout the rest of your life. No, just going through and
Garden Gnomes!
excellent.
Nice.
You've also got crossover. Crossover, while not always crackfic, is often crackfic.
Especially if it's 2003 and all of the hobbits show up.
Hobbits have made their way out of the Forbidden Forest. A vampire is selling children crack in the dungeons? Luke, I am your father?
The title of this gave me such vivid flashbacks. I was like, wait, did I write this? Harry Potter and the Sportacular Crossover!
Here we are. Dobby, I think, is supposed to be sort of a Smeagol type figure.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. That connection is so obvious.
It's very obvious, and there's actually
pretty sure I've actually read Dobby / Gollum before.
Pretty sure.
And where is that? Why isn't that in the slides?
I don't know, whoops.
Come on.
I don't save everything. Sometimes I'm just in such a reading frenzy.
Exactly. It's hard because all fan fiction is good, and so what do you do? Lol, so random! This is Harry Potter's weird bird.
Oh my god! Oh, I found this one so long ago. This one's from the year 2000. It's about 87 words long. In it, Hedwig eats some apricots, is still hungry, eats all the owls in the owlery, is still hungry,
Very hungry.
eats Harry.
Harry comes in, he's like, "Oh, Hedwig, you're such a weird bird. Why'd you eat all the other owls?"
And then she eats
And then she eats him. And, really.
Beautiful! Thank
Freaked
you!
out.
2000.
Thank you, 2000. Just a moment of silence, please, everyone, for all of the Crackfic that was deleted in a purge of fanfiction.net. Force them out. Nice. Okay, so now we want to let you know how you might see. Oh, did you just drink that? Fucking fine, dude. Okay. You might be reading Crackfic. If the Harry Potter characters are shown really engaging with real world media. As in Harry Potter and Ron watch Napoleon Dynamite.
They just watched the movie.
They just watched the movie, that's a whole fanfic.
Now with these characters react to my favorite movie.
Here we go, I gotta get it out! Voldemort and the Death Eaters do the time warp.
Do they actually travel in time in that?
No, they're doing it. Let's
just
do
do dance?
the time. Yeah, and they just do it. Well, okay, no, that's not true. They do it, and consequently, all the good guys die.
That checks out. That checks
And
out.
you get to the end of the story, and they're like, well, we won Voldemort and the Dead. Oh, also Harry and Voldemort are dating. Side note. Total side note. And they're like, Harry and Voldemort, cutest couple, are like, we won, yay, and everybody, all the good guys are dead, and then the story's over, and then the AN is like, I probably should have mentioned that in this story, the song is a spell that makes people spontaneously combust, but I just thought of that here at the end, and I thought I'd just slide that in. Real quick.
Nice.
That's a good one. 2, there is an excess of caps lock.
Oh my gosh.
Therefore, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Crackfic.
Wow, that's a hot take. What?
There's an excess of caps lock Harry in that book. Crackfic.
Fine, say that.
I really couldn't stop pulling stuff that was about pixie sticks. But honestly, I was not trying.
Yeah.
This just
No,
happened.
they all just say pixie sticks in them at some point.
Yeah. In this Crackfic, Hermione and Draco are flirting. And like, maybe they're gonna get together. But then Hermione is like, if you really want my heart, you will get me some pixie sticks. And then Draco does not deliver on that promise.
Oh, man.
I know.
Fuck Draco,
Very
man.
disappointing.
Always
Hermione-
promising pixies.
Always promising pixie sticks, never coming through. And Hermione's right to yell at him, you insensitive jerk face. So there you go. There's that one.
Sure.
3, the text is made up entirely of dialogue.
These are all so beautiful, and we can't do them on our podcast.
No, they
It breaks
don't
my heart
either.
every time.
It's hard to read them in just like an audio format because you get this sort of
So we're
script
doing it in
type.
a visual format.
I'd like a moment of silence for that time that fanfiction.net purged all of their dialogue-only
Yeah, the
stories.
script fix.
Some of them survived, like
this one, because this is 2001. That is pre-Purge.
Yep.
So this survived. Mm-hmm. A lot of them were written on like MSN Messenger.
I read
by
one.
multiple
We
people.
didn't include it in this in this presentation, but I read one where the characters were just using MSN Messenger.
Oh yeah, it was just like Harry and Hermione and Ron on MSN talking
And
to
then
each other.
somebody joins, and they're like, "Who just came in?" And they're like, "My father."
Very good. Number 4, there are one or more rambling off-topic author's notes. Example.
This one is so beautiful.
LMAO, sorry guys, I just had to add a little Pirates of the Caribbean into this. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Savvy? Oh my god, I love that word. Savvy? He's so hot. I'd love to be stuck on an island with him, but of course, I'm still faithful to Orlando. Anyways, enough of my rambling and on with the story. And that had nothing to do with the story.
Draco says, "I'm Draco Malfoy," and then this happens on the page.
Yes, it's like because he's like, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, savvy. So when it says I'm Draco Malfoy, they're imagining it in that voice, and then they had to tell us
Well,
about
that's good
it.
they explained it because I did not get that.
Would not have gone there. Number 5, things just happen with no lead up or explanation. In this one, Ron dies.
This is the one from earlier with the 6 authors.
Yes, this has, we just put et al. On this one because we didn't want it. But it's spontaneously. It's great when it starts with spontaneously as well. It really lets you know what you're about to get into. A gargantuan crocodilian fell out of the sky and squished Ron.
Poor Ron.
Poor Ron.
He gets killed.
All the time. Actually, if I remember correctly, this does not kill Ron.
Oh.
Ron willingly walks into the pond of death after this. He was following the crocodilian because they became friends during this squishing incident, I think. Yeah, let's ship it. Crocodilian / Ron. Don't think about it too hard. This is a picture of an entire story. It is unedited, stream of consciousness. It is called Niffler on Crack. And it is when they need to find Dumbledore's hidden stash of wizard crack, and they find a Niffler and can fund it to go find it for them. Is what happens in this story.
I cannot believe you made it through this. I can't handle these blocks of text.
I think
My
they're
eyes
great.
start bleeding.
Really, this is the embodiment of what we're saying when they're possessed by an idea and they have to get it out at all costs because it's unedited.
Yeah,
like
no.
you don't have time
No
for the enter key.
Enter key? That's like so far away. My pinky doesn't stretch that far. I'm 11.
Whew, all right. The story has actual drugs in it, which, you know,
Usually crack.
but in this one, they're all potheads.
Girl, really worried about crack in the early 2000s.
And they really were. This one's a stoner spoof where they find the evil sorcerer's bong. And I think that's really all we have to say about it. That's it. That about wraps that up.
It's like 4,000 words long.
It's very long. It's not 5 chapters, you guys. All right. Please welcome our special guest, Mike Schubert. Welcome. Of course. Oh,
You're too far away from the pixie sticks, Mike.
He just look at his own pile. Check it out.
My mother would be so disappointed. It was on the list of like pixie sticks, fun dips, sour punch straws, like not allowed to eat.
It's why you have nice teeth now. You thank her, but also don't tell her about this. All right. Okay. So we brought Mike up here because you're relatively not familiar with fan fiction.
No, if anyone doesn't know, I run a podcast called Potterless, and I've read the Harry Potter books as a kid. I've reading them for the first time as an adult on my podcast. I just recently finished them, so now I'm doing things like the movies and all that kind of stuff like that. I've been on Fanatical Fics before. They were my first introduction to fan fiction, and they were like, it's a Crackfic, so it's going to be a little weird. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then it was like, Voldemort was pregnant with Harry's child, and then Ginny was also pregnant with Luna's, and I was like, that doesn't make sense.
We were glad that we could really show you what
The truest,
fanfiction can
rudest
be.
awakening.
Yeah, check out Mike's on the show on Monday. So, the ingestion of pixie sticks is really important.
They're so bad.
Yeah.
They are just crushed up sweet tarts, right?
I think so.
I feel like
so?
that's what it has
Yeah.
to be.
I don't know.
You know, everyone loves sweet tarts.
I also know you guys were asking for like specific colors, but I guarantee you they all taste the same. I think there's one flavor, okay? I don't believe you.
There's one flavor, it's regret.
But I haven't touched my water.
I
he
filled
has
this
his
up
own water.
beforehand,
Oh,
36 ounces to get ready.
We did tell you had to eat pixie sticks, so it was necessary. We would have found a new guest. No, we wouldn't have. All right, so because we got Mike here and we're, also teaching him the ways of Crackfic slowly and surely over time, I will be doing a Crackfic case study here for you all today.
Sophia wouldn't let me look at this. She kept like giggling and working on the slides. What have you done?
I'm so excited. And I only had 12 pixie sticks. Okay, so in this case study, it's called Can't We All Just Get Along?
And in this story, Harry Potter summons a great beast to help him defeat the Dark Lord. One shot. Short. Crackfic.
One shot. Harry Potter defeats the Dark Lord in 500
One
words
shot.
or less.
All right.
I figured it out, Joe. Don't worry. It's not 500 words.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing is going through this story by its plot points, and then we're going to decide what type it is, the state of mind we think the author was in when they were reading the story, sort of see what the kind of examples of Crackfic that we can pull out of it, right?
Sounds good.
Okay, here we go. Harry and Voldemort face off in their final battle.
That's fine.
Harry explains to Voldemort that love is what will defeat him. Right? Okay, this is good. This was written in 2006. They were like on track thus far, right?
2006 is a great time to write, I think, how the story's going to end, Fix.
Voldemort cannot possibly understand. I love that they can see what is going to happen and you are not looking at the screen. Harry cannot see how Voldemort cannot see how Harry could ever love Voldemort. Voldemort's like, okay, so in order to defeat me, you're gonna love me? You can't love me, right?
Not great reading comprehension from Voldemort there.
Like, that's a side note. What? And Harry responds, no, I could not possibly love you. You are a monster.
I don't know. I've read some fic to the contrary.
I know someone who could love you.
Oh, no.
And Harry says, Accio Barney. Yeah? Accio Barney.
I'm assuming you mean the large purple dinosaur, not rubble.
I do mean the large purple dinosaur.
Cool.
He's famous for, unconditional love. And Harry knows that, having grown up in the Muggle world, He's aware of Barney's unconditional love. So Harry summons Barney. Harry asks very innocently, he says, Barney, me and Voldemort, we're really just having this, we're having a disagreement. And we're wondering if there's any way that we can solve this disagreement without violence. And Barney's like, I know. Give you a Barney voice? What are you
That was
doing?
not.
That was not a Barney voice. I don't know what just came out of me.
You were possessed.
I was possessed. I just love this story so much. I just got really high-pitched. Barney says that he knows exactly the way. And Barney begins to sing his song to Voldemort. You all know the song.
Don't.
I
No,
love
please.
you. You love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Who would have thought they would sing the Barney song today? Raise your hand. Exactly. I mean, there's that too. Barney appreciation here. Voldemort thinks that Barney is on crack. Explicitly, he's like, where did this beast come from? Is it on crack?
Nice.
And Harry
Heard of muggle drugs.
Wizard crack. It's different because it's magic.
magic.
Sure, okay, I could have just said that.
Sure.
Instead of just searching aimlessly for a joke.
Excellent.
A lot of pixie sticks.
You know, the weird pixie stick hangover later. So Voldemort is really freaked out. He also is like, Harry, how could you possibly do this? This is the most intense form of torture. And Harry's like, yeah, I'm not having a great time either, dude. And then Voldemort tries to kill Barney with the killing curse.
Uh-huh.
But guys,
No.
it rebounds off of Barney because Barney is pure love.
Yeah, of course. Checks out.
You know what? This is canon. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Barney is pure love.
Look, have I read the books? I don't know. This happened, right?
Then, unimpeded by the killing curse, Barney envelops Voldemort in a hug, and Voldemort disintegrates.
So that's what they were going for in the 8th movie.
Nice.
You burnt. And then Harry lets Barney return to his own universe as
From
though he
whence
were
he
never
came.
there. Yeah. So Barney returns from whence he came, and it says... Sorry. It says that he is then wiped from the history books. So no one will, in the wizarding world, will ever know the great service that Barney did them.
Now y'all know.
Now you all know. Thank you. Thank you.
Claps for Barney. Yeah, we're
Claps
clapping
for
for
Barney.
Barney.
You don't have any more water. I was going to pour one out for Barney in your water. Okay.
A little bit left.
Now that we have...
Poison me.
Now that we have done this, these are a couple of my thoughts, and I wonder if you two agree with me on these thoughts.
I can't see them.
Why was this fic written? It does say that it was entered in a Crackfic challenge, but I'm not sure that it was written for the competition. Like, the competition was like, write one about Barney, you know?
You think it was just like, write how you think the series is going to end. Please speculate.
I hope that it was in like a serious thing, and then they were like, meh.
It's exactly something
I
a
think
Crackfic author
this
would do.
seems more like, I've had an idea. A terrible idea.
It sounds like somebody like 12 years old or so was like watching TV with their kid, sister, whatever.
Younger sibling.
Yeah.
It's like,
Didn't know where that was going.
the problem is that like the logic isn't that off.
They're close.
Because, like, love, he's love, like, there is a connection there. And it, like, yes, he's a large purple dinosaur that sings about doing chores and stuff. But also, he's love. So
But
it's,
also
like,
he's
not
pure
that
love.
far off. It's not like he was, like, Big Bird. It's like, well, he's just a large bird. But, like, Barney at least has, like, some sort of connection there. So it's not completely out of left field.
Love it.
He's just a large bird. So I'm thinking the type, this is a crossover. This is clearly a crossover, right?
I would also categorize it as lol random, right?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, also
Because
random.
why is anything happening? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, and the things that we see in this, we see that why is this happening? Like, there is no lead up, really, to, like, introducing Barney into the universe of Harry Potter.
Yeah. I need more lore.
You need to know, like, that he was foretold? Barney?
Ooh, yeah, I need a Barney prophecy.
Barney prophecy.
Look, the Fanatical Fix movie franchise is not over yet. It's not out of the question that he could come in.
Barney could make an appearance. And then the hallmarks we see here, caps lock, non sequiturs, mentions of actual drugs. So we do see how this is crackfic.
Yeah. Yes,
Excellent.
This is definitely crack. Good job.
Thank you for going on this journey with me. All right. Great. Well, we are going to do a little bit of a quick exercise here.
Yeah.
We are going to write a crackfic live for you. The three of us.
Here we go.
Here are the rules. We are each pulling a plot point from our magical bag of wherever it is of crack plot bunnies. We have been consuming pixie sticks, so this is already fulfilled. And then we're going to take turns writing one sentence at a time. We can only see the last sentence that was written before us, and we got to do it quick. I'm going to amend that to 5 minutes.
I am so bothered by pixie being spelled with a Y. It actively hurts to look at this word.
It does. I had to look it up.
Nah, sticks with an X is like cool. But pixie with a Y.
Don't tell us what you get, Mike.
I love it. This is good.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we going for a particular length?
Until we are done.
Until we've gotten through all 3 of our plot points.
I don't know.
Okay. My thing is
We're
like
gonna
it
try to
is
go
a
fast.
time sensitive one. So I want to make sure we get to the story part where
I mean, here's the thing. We're writing a crackfic. You don't need to get there.
you arrive.
Hi, we're back in this recording. We just wanted to drop in here and let you know we did write this wonderful, insane crackfic live with our friend Mike, and the writing of it didn't really translate well to audio.
Nope.
There
There were
It's
a lot of
like
technical difficulties
and then like type
pounding on the keyboard.
and like people laugh and then type. Like it's not good for audio. So
Yeah.
we cut that portion out. But at the very end, I did read the fanfic aloud. So we'll just go ahead and have that there for you. But also, this game that we have. If you go to our website, there'll be a link in the description to our blog post.
Mm-hmm.
You can play this game.
Yeah, we have the rules and all of the prompts that we wrote beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all on there. And if you decide to play this with some friends of yours, do email us the results.
Yes, we would like to see that, please. You can also, in that same blog post, see the fic itself and also see like which
one of us wrote it.
One of us wrote which sentence.
Yeah.
Which is fun too, because you don't really get that out of this portion. But
do it.
Yeah, here we go. I'm going to read it to you.
Once upon a time, Harry Potter was walking down the street. Then another Harry appeared, and so did a 5th Ludo Bagman. When Ludo accidentally spilled a shrinking potion all over Harry. I'm scared of small things, Harry once said, stomping everywhere. I'm scared of large things, too, to be fair, he whimpered. Harry winked and licked his lips. Oh, no, I did that. And ate the tiny Harry promptly. Suddenly, Voldemort entered the fray by apparating violently with a loud crack. Everyone else gasped in unison. Nice. You are interrupting a private moment, screamed Harry. The person fainted, vomit flying out everywhere. Enough was enough. Harry was going to put an end to this madness. He had to take a stand. Harry grabbed the closest object. It was Draco's hand. Hand in hand, they decided the time was now. It was upon them alone to put a spectacular end to Voldemort's reign of tyranny. Harry and Ludo took the thing in their hands and stabbed Voldemort through the heart. The end. We did it!
Did you,
Technical difficulties aside.
Okay.
Did you both get your plot points
Yes,
in?
my plot point was Voldemort dies in a ridiculous fashion. Check.
I think getting stabbed by Draco would count.
Yeah. I got, there is a potions accident.
Check.
Nice. I had someone fights themselves
Harry ate himself, yeah.
Because Harry ate himself. Yeah, that checks
Harry
out.
stomped on him.
All right, it looks like we are out of time. So here's the slide with all of our information on it. We have business cards and buttons and all sorts of stuff. So we'll meet you out in the hallway.
Too. We have ribbons.
We have ribbons. We have ribbons. So meet us out in the hallway. If you follow us on Twitter, we'll give you a ribbon. Also, rate and review this lecture and us as panelists on the apps. No flames.
Why are there reviews? If we good enough good reviews, we'll do a sequel.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thanks so much for tuning in to our surprise bonus
Weird
content.
thing. Bizarre thing that someone let us do.
We had a whole ton of fun. You can tell by the end that we'd each consumed like 50 pixie sticks or whatever.
We were a little unwell.
We're just like, thanks,
Especially
screaming.
to Mike Schubert for being the most game, most kind, best person.
Exactly. We were just like, oh, we're doing this panel. And Mike was like, can I come? And we were like, really?
Really? You want to do what? You are required to eat a pixie stick.
Yeah. So honestly, like, huge shouts to Mike for helping us get people to our panel. And then also to LeakyCon for letting us fucking do this thing.
Yeah, wow. We submitted we submitted this panel like there's no way in fucking hell they're gonna let us do this. And then they did, and it was so incredibly fun, and we're both just really looking forward to next year in Orlando when we're gonna do something else.
The sequel. Woo. Yeah, thanks to everybody who made this possible.
Thanks as well to the Whomping Willows for the use of our theme
theme
song.
It's their awesome song.
We'll start. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.